The time is now 6:31 p.m. And I call this meeting of the Pearsall ISD Independent School Board meeting to order. Let the record show that there is a quorum present. We have um, myself present, Lionel Gondara present, Mari Benavides is absent, Diana Hughes here, Dora Mata Rodriguez here, and Adrian Ramirez here, and Marco Reyes is here. Move on to the invocation.
Good evening, everyone. So, Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to gather today as a school community and school board. Bless each student and staff member with your wisdom, grace, and presence as we progress through this school year. Guide our discussions tonight and decisions, filling our hearts and minds with truth and understanding. Help us to work together with a spirit of unity, encouragement, support, always for the great glory of your name and for the betterment of our Pearsall ISD School District. Amen.
Amen.
Have a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll move on to item 4, public comment. And we have 2 speakers. Yes. The board will now hear comments from those persons who have signed up to speak. Pursuant to board policy VIII.D local, at regular board meetings, the board has allotted for public comment regardless of whether the topic is on the item of the agenda with notice of the meeting. Individuals who wish to participate during this portion of the meeting designated for public comment must sign up before the meetings and shall indicate the agenda item on the topic of which they wish to address the board. An individual's comments to the board shall not exceed 3 minutes per meeting. Participants may not relinquish their time to another speaker. During the public comment portion of this meeting, the board will listen to but not engage in dialogue or debate with speakers. The board has adopted specific complaint policies and specific procedures for presenting complaints. If the presiding officer determines that the presentation during this portion of the meeting is a complaint, he or she will respectfully ask that the person stop speaking and to use the board's adopted policies and procedures to have the matter heard through the appropriate channels. The board expects all members of the audience to behave in a polite and orderly fashion during this and all other portions of the meeting. Speakers who use profanity, obscene, threatening, or abusive language will be ruled out of order and asked to discontinue their comments. Disruptive conduct will not be tolerated. We have Ella Nash. Minute.
Department of Energy designated coalition provides technical assistance and training to promote the adoption of clean transportation technology in our community. I'm here tonight to make a case for electric school buses and let you know about a training program that Queen Cities will be facilitating in spring of 2022. Before I jump into that opportunity, I'd like to share a few points that illustrate the need for electric school buses. The most immediate benefit that electric school buses offer is zero tailpipe pollution, which can lead to a significant improvement in student health. Diesel school buses produce harmful air pollutants both outside the vehicle and more significantly inside the cabin.
Okay. Yeah, story is pretty, reminds me of when I was on the board, I made the motion for the first air-conditioned bus. And of course, it brought a lot of problems because all the boys wanted it and the cheerleaders had to be on the un-air-conditioned bus. But anyway, I didn't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the CTE classes. Right now, I was talking to Jason, one of your employees here, and as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the school district, you have mission, objectives, you have vision, mission, objectives, and task, right? If you go to the VI.C somewhere in the bottom, you'll say this is what we want to do for the school district. Well, when it comes to CTE, we offer about 25 classes for CTE, and only 3 are for construction. And I'm kind of wondering what's the trend on the vocations. And I tend to think that more kids and more people and more young people want to go into vocations. So I'm kind of pushing the case for more construction CTE classes. I'm also pushing for the fact that what would they do? If you can build benches or garbage cans or whatever, you can build houses, okay, as far as I'm concerned. So we used to build houses here, small houses, and I think the school district could make it, you could probably make money on it, profit on it, pay for the materials, and the kids would basically do all the labor. So I think that, there's a demand for that. And on top of that, where's the funding? You heard about the funding on the buses. Well, the Texas workforce has funding for various activities. They go out there and fund a welding building in Hondo. And what do we get from the Texas workforce? A study, of course. But I think that if we were to approach the workforce, I think they would come back and say, well, what's your plan? What CTE classes do you want to do? How do we tie the CTE classes to an actual certificate that will yield a $40,000 paycheck? That's what we're talking about. Construction people eventually end up making about 50 grand a year. And I think that's a good start for a young individual in our county, and I think that's the way to go. So I implore you to relook at your CTE classes and take a look at whether that's possible for rearranging your classes for more CTE. And of course, make sure you investigate it and make sure there's a demand for those classes and not for classes that are no longer appropriate or have become obsolete. Thank you very much for your time.
How do you say it? Commendations? Okay, moving on to item 5, commendations.
Good evening, Board President, Board of Trustees, and Pearsall ISD community. This evening, we've got a lot of folks to recognize through our commendation program, and we will begin with commendations for our campus student and staff member of the month. And if we can have the principals come up, and we will start with our Ted Flores Elementary and Principal Cordelia Gonzalez.
Good evening, board. You guys can stand up. I'd first like to start with our student of the month. Today, I want to recognize a very special second grade student who reminds us what it means to lead by example, even at such a young age. This student has shown incredible dedication with perfect attendance, proving that being present every single day truly matters. But what stands out most is not just showing up, it's how she shows up. This student is kind to classmates, respectful to teachers, and always willing to lend a helping hand, whether it's sharing supplies, including others at recess, or offering a smile when someone needs it. This student shows us the heart of a true good citizen. Their consistent effort, kindness, and positive attitude make our school a brighter place each day. We are proud to celebrate this young leader for setting such an inspiring example for others to follow. Congratulations, Ms. Aisley Elizondo.
Aisley.
Next, for our Employee of the Month, I'd like to take a moment to recognize a teacher who truly embodies the spirit of dedication and positivity on our campus. She's not only a passionate educator, but also our junior high cheer coach. Someone who brings that same energy to teamwork and drive into everything she does. Whether she's in the classroom motivating her students or out on the sidelines leading her squad, she radiates enthusiasm and sets the tone for excellence. She's the kind of teacher who doesn't wait to be told what to do. She sees a need and steps in. Always with a smile and a "we can do this" attitude. Her students respect her, her colleagues admire her, and our school is better because of her commitment to bringing out the best in everyone around her. She truly represents what it means to be a go-getter, a leader, and a positive force in our learning community. Congratulations to Ms. Jamie Liao, this month's Employee of the Month.
And from Pearsall Intermediate School, we have Principal Gina Baker.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to introduce first our Student of the Month for Pearsall Intermediate, Ms. Aliana Perez. Aliana is an ideal student. She consistently shows leadership both in and out of the classroom. Inside the classroom, she's a rock-solid student that stays on top of her studies, actively participates, and shows a genuine love for learning. When other classmates are struggling, Aliana is quick to explain in a different way and encourage them to keep trying. She always looks for ways to help out the class in any way possible. So for that, we would like to recognize Aliana. For Pearsall Intermediate's Employee of the Month, we would like to recognize Ms. Dana Torres. Ms. Dana Torres is our instructional coach. She is very dedicated to supporting both teachers and students every day. Mrs. Torres consistently goes above and beyond to model effective teaching strategies, provide meaningful feedback, and help teachers grow in their instructional practices. Her work behind the scenes, analyzing data, planning professional development, and collaborating with teachers has a direct impact on student success across our campus. Thank you, Ms. Torres, for your leadership, commitment, and passion to excellence.
For Pearsall Junior High, we have Ms. Tiffany Talamantes.
Good evening, everybody. Pearsall Junior High Student of the Month is Mr. Ernesto Tamez. Ernesto is such a great young man. He is very intelligent, sometimes too independent, funny, and a student who always asks questions and truly wants to understand. Whenever life throws something his way, he rolls up his sleeves, runs with it, and keeps a positive attitude. Ernesto is always willing to give a helping hand whenever it is needed. He is a pleasure to have in our class and has a bright future ahead. He truly represents Dogie pride. Our Employee of the Month is Ms. Jasmine Lopez Beltran. I am here to highlight and celebrate a truly outstanding member of our school community, our art teacher. Ms. Lopez brings something incredibly special to our campus every single day: kindness, creativity, and a deep commitment to her students' success as well as their well-being. She is more than just an art teacher. She is a mentor, a motivator, a model of what is meant to teach with heart to all of our students. In her classroom, students are not just taught how to draw,
or paint. They are encouraged to express themselves, to take risks, and to be proud of their work. She sees the potential in every student and helps them to see it in themselves, whether a student walks into her class with natural talent or just curiosity. They leave feeling empowered and supportive. Ms. Lopez is a shining example of what makes our school special. We are incredibly fortunate to have her on our team, and I hope you will join me in recognizing her and appreciating her for the important work she does every day.
And our Pearsall High School principal, Ms. Melissa Bass.
Good evening, board. I'm going to try real hard. I'm losing my voice. I'll start with our October Student of the Month. Congratulations to Caitlin Gores for being selected as our October Student of the Month. Caitlin is an outstanding student who consistently demonstrates a strong work ethic, positive attitude, and commitment to excellence. She leads by example, showing respect and kindness to her peers and teachers alike. Caitlin's dedication, responsibility, and school spirit make her a wonderful representation of what it means to be a Pearsall Maverick. We're proud of you, Caitlin. Keep up the amazing work. Next, we are honoring Ryan Campos. Congratulations to Ryan Campos as one of our dedicated Algebra 1 teachers. Mr. Campos is an eager learner who gives his all in everything he does. He is always willing to try new things and continuously seeks ways to grow and improve. Mr. Campos is also known for building strong, positive relationships with both his colleagues and students. His willingness to lend a helping hand and his commitment to our students' success make him an invaluable member of the Pearsall High School team. Congratulations, Mr. Campos, and thank you for all that you do for our students and our school community. We are so happy to have you at Pearsall High School.
For our District Employee of the Month, this month we proudly recognize Ruben Rosales as our Employee of the Month. Come on up. Rosales. Ruben consistently goes above and beyond his duties as a district security guard. Every day, he plays a vital role in keeping our students and staff safe, from assisting with crossing guard duties to providing security at games and ensuring all our exterior doors and fencing doors across the district are secure. And even though each campus has its own officer, Ruben takes the initiative and ownership of district safety district-wide. His dedication, reliability, and commitment to protecting our schools truly makes a difference. Thank you, Ruben, for your outstanding service and for always putting safety first, including trying to make me get in the car instead of walking from one campus to the next. We're very grateful to have you on our Pearsall ISD team. Thank you. We're good. Next up, we have some commendations. We had National Custodial Appreciation Day on October 2nd, and while the custodians did get something that day, we do want to give them a board recognition tonight. So, accepting on their behalf, if we can have Humby Gonzalez come up, and I'm going to read their names for the record, and we do have signed certificates for all of them. And if they were able to make it tonight, if they can come on up when we call your name. From Ted Flores Elementary, we have Isabel Aranda, Jenny Perez, Julia Perez, Inés Tolentino, and Elizabeth Treviño. From Pearsall Intermediate, we have Andrés Valdez Hernandez, Leticia Medrano, Victoria Rendon, Antonio Ortiz, Thomas Philbeck, and Agustin Tovar. From Pearsall Junior High, we have Liliana Aguilar, Barbara Gonzalez, Ramiro Medrano, and Anthony Morales. And from Pearsall High School, we have Elaine Rodriguez, Alvaro Martinez, Bertha Alcalá, Iridian Noblewood, Linda Cantu, Dimas Medrano, Isela Martinez, and Dora Gonzalez. And from Central Office, our very own Miss Rose Martinez. Thank you. Yeah. If y'all a little bit, we'll get and fix it this way. We can scoot over this way a little bit. I'll just. Come on.
Hey, just want to say one thing real quick. We are missing a lot of work that the soldiers are. You will appreciate it for the good hard work you guys do.
And our next award, Mr. Adam Martinez is going to present. It's our 6 weeks attendance award. I went out of order, Adam. I'm sorry. I will let him take the stage for this one because we would like to give a special recognition to our attendance winner for the 6 weeks. As you know, one of our big district initiatives was to improve our attendance district-wide, and we set a goal for 96%. And want to say a shout out to TFE and the intermediate school for both having 96% today. Woo woo! And every campus has hit it at least once. So we're very proud every campus has hit it at least once, but there can be but one 6 weeks winner.
Absolutely. Mr. President, members of the board, and Pearsall ISD community members, it's my pleasure to recognize the top performing campus for attendance for the first 6 weeks. So, as Dr. Spores mentioned, attendance has been a very, very big focus for us here in the district, and we are seeing great numbers to start the year. We want those numbers to continue. So in an effort to have those numbers continue to be as high as they can, we decided that we'd like to come up with a little bit of an extra recognition. And so the top performing campus for the first 6 weeks was Pearsall Junior High. Come on up, Miss Salamantes. And we have a very special award to be able to present. So this award will be presented to the top performing campus every 6 weeks. So Ms. Talamantes and her campus will have the honor of having it first. So. So, Ms. Talamantes, I present to you the Best Attendance Championship for the first 6 weeks. Congratulations. Just like on the wrist.
Is a fully functioning belt that will clip on, by the way. Yes.
You can legit walk down the halls.
Even though they aren't here, this does truly go to my parents, my faculty, staff, and students. So I will be sure to share this with them because without our parents, this is not possible. So thank you.
We thought you guys might enjoy that a little better than a trophy. So, next up, we are going to recognize our amazing instructional coaches. And even if they're not here, if their principals would come up and recognize them. I know we already heard about one of them tonight, but we have instructional coaches at each of the campus, and those folks' job is to help our teachers become better teachers, which impacts our students' learning, and they are a vital part of our campus. And we had National Instructional Coach Day on October 6th. Don't worry, we will hit the athletic coaches up at a different time of the year when we have Athletic Coaches Day. But instructional coaches at Ted Flores Elementary, we have Mr. Jesus Beltran. At the intermediate school, we have Ms. Dana Torres. At the junior high, we have Ms. Marita Gonzalez. And at the high school, we have Ms. Jessica Maldonado. Stand up with us, Tiff, because you're holding her thing. Do you want to stand up? Get in the picture? You should be able to just eventually. On October 8th, the state of Texas officially declared the day as the Texas Education Human Resources Day. And we have two amazing folks in our Human Resources Department here at Pearsall ISD, Miss Michelle De Leon and Miss Ana Perez. If you guys would come on up and get your certificate. Not only do these ladies take care of all of our current employees, they are a big part of the Pearsall story, telling it out there as they recruit. They also help us come up with our compensation packages. They are truly the face of Pearsall ISD, and we really appreciate all that they do every day. Thank you, ladies. And last, but certainly not least, we would like to recognize amazing principals because this is national. So if I could have all four of you ladies come back up here. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to Miss Juanita Rendon back here from our Pearsall Chamber of Commerce. Ms. Rendon helped come up with some of the goodies in these goodie baskets for you guys. So we have a basket full of thank yous, not only from the district, but from a very grateful Pearsall community for your tireless work on behalf of our students. Thank you. Yes. Okay. You can wear it. It's formal, informal.
I'm on side your chair.
Please do. You're good. Do I need to scoot over more?
No, you're
Can I
good
get
right
in?
there.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Alrighty. We'll be moving on to item 6, presentations. 6A presentation by Adam Martinez on Bilingual ESL Program Annual Evaluation Report.
Yes, Mr. Board President. In accordance with 19 Administration Code 89.1265, the annual evaluation November 1st of each be retained level and meets the requirements of 19 Administrative Code 265B and C. Our district bilingual ESL. We have our Assistant Superintendent, Mr.
Good evening once again, Mr. Board President, members of the board, and community members in attendance. So, I will first off say that I will have the pleasure of presenting this information here to you this afternoon, but I'd be remiss if I did not to give you a little bit of information as to who helped put this together. So, our Director of Federal Programs, who also oversees the ESL bilingual program, Ms. Linda Chavera, was not able to be with us here this evening. She is at a conference and continuing her professional development. So I wanted to make sure that we did have that recognition as well for her to be able to get recognized for that. As we get started here, just a little bit about our current models that we have here in Pearsall ISD. We do have a combination of a bilingual education program, and our model that we do have here is a transitional early exit program. And we do also support the English as a Second Language program, or ESL program, through the ESL pull-out method and also the push-in method. So with our enrollment, we do have some information here for the last 3 school years. We do have pretty steady enrollment here for the last few years, 169 in 23-24, 170 in 24-25, and currently we're at 168 across the whole district. We do have some students that have been reclassified. For 23-24, we did have 2, and for last school year, 24-25, we did have 5 that were reclassified. As we're going here in Pearsall ISD, we are very fortunate to be able to have both English learners and also Spanish learners. We do not have a plethora of other languages, so primarily here in the district, we do have English-speaking students and Spanish-speaking students. The state does allow for us to be able to have what are called exemptions and waivers based on our current staffing that we have here in the district. We are working, again, very hard and diligently across the whole district in regards to certification and having the correct credentials. As of right now, here you do have the data for the last several years. For bilingual exemptions, we do have at least 1 for the last 4 years. And those teachers that are on an ESL waiver, we do have pretty consistent. Last several years, we've had 3, and this year we did have to increase to 1 more for a total of 4. So we do have to submit those waivers to the state and get approval by the state of Texas through the Texas Education Agency. As we are working with our students in these programs, we do have some resources to be able to support them. One of them is Summit K-12. We do also utilize Education Service Center Region 20 for on-site coaching and support. And we also do have our Connect 20, which is the professional development resource for us to be able to seek, whether they be in-person professional development or online through the web. And then also TexasEL.org for another resource for professional development. So talking a little bit about the state assessments and how they have performed and the Texas English Language Proficiency Assessment System. For STAR, we have, again, seen some growth here for our students as we have looked at reading and math here on this piece of information. For all of our students, we are at a 53% clip in reading, but our EB students are actually outperforming at a rate of 64%. And then in math, they're pretty steady with both performing at a clip of 57%. For our TELPAS rate, again, the TELPAS is the assessments that the English language learners are having to take yearly. So it does measure their listening, speaking, and hearing components. And they have, again, performed here. We have some resources for the last couple of years to be able to go through. At the TFE campus, we did see a substantial improvement from 24 to 25. At the intermediate campus, we did see some regression. We do also know that the intermediate campus is, again, a campus that has our attention for school improvement, and we recognize that, and we are working diligently in order to be able to improve that, especially in this particular situation as well. The junior high, we did have some growth and improvement. You see there from a 28 to a 41%. And then our high school is pretty steady. We did see a 1% improvement from last year information. As we have, again, these English language learners in our district, They are a big part of what we do day in and day out, and they will continue to be a focus. Our subpopulations are very, very important when it comes down to our state accountability and being able to, again, overall, the district is a state in need of improvement, and we're wanting to make sure that even our special populations and our subpopulations also have our attendance as well. That is the presentation that we have for you here this evening. If you do have any specific questions, I'd be more than happy to be able to answer any questions that you may have. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Does anyone have any questions? Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 6B, monthly financial report presented by Lisa Fernandez.
Board President, Board of Trustees, this evening we have our business manager, Ms. Fernandez, who will be presenting our regular monthly financials for September.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
As she stated, these are the September 2025 financials. Beginning with VI.C General Fund Financials, which includes our athletics, swimming pool, band, and general fund. The report below shows the various types of revenues received by the district, along with the budgeted amounts, actual amounts received in September, and the variances. $4.3 million in revenue was received in September, with 97.74% of that received from the Available School Fund and the Foundation School Program. Continuing with VI.C are the expenditures by function. A total of $2.2 million were expended in September. $3.9 million were encumbered. And Function 11 for instructional purposes had the highest expenditures with 56.83% of the total. This next screen just shows that there were no operate and transfers in VI.C funds for the month of September. Next is the 240 Child Nutrition Fund financials. The report below shows again the various types of revenues received for the Child Nutrition Program, along with the budgeted amounts, actual amounts received in September, and the variances, as well as expenditures by function. $10,633 in revenue was received from adult and a la carte sales. $36,844 was expended, and $1.8 million was encumbered. Those expenditures and encumbrances were both in Function 35 for food services. For our 511 Debt Service Fund financials, again, the report shows the various types of revenues, budgeted amounts, actual amounts received in September, and the variances, as well as expenditures by function. For September, $8,814 was received in tax revenue. There were no expenditures for debt services in September, and there was $376,200 in encumbrances. And that is actually the end of the presentation. Thank you. It's short because of the time of year. Anybody have any questions?
No, are we, I'm looking at the nutrition fund, its negative impact. Do we continue to see something like we did last year, or are we starting more?
Our plan that we have been discussing is trying to get more meals, maybe later in the day, trying to comment on it. Perhaps serving dinner, more meals for tutorials and different options.
The question is,
No, I mean, I think we're at negative 500, negative 400,000, but what are we
year, they are better. Of course, it being Monday through Friday, lunch as well. We did start supper at junior high, and that's slowly growing. So for right now, I haven't heard anything from intermediate or Ted Flores, so I'm not certain if that already started. Yeah. Okay.
Once we begin our tutorials, we'll be able to offer the supper meals, and we'll be able to offer that pretty much across the board as well. So all the campuses will be offering tutorials. That'll give us the opportunity for it.
Don't want to see what we saw last year.
And with a 5-day week, it makes a difference as well.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions for Lisa? Alrighty, thank you. Move on to item 6C, Superintendent Report by Dr. Spoor.
So I've got a quick little report for everybody tonight. We're going to hear a lot from the campuses in regards to academics and our district improvement plan as well. You want to just do it for me? Just click. It's 4 slides. Thank you, Lucero. So first up, I want to just share some of the professional engagement that we've done with our Region 20 Service Center. I attend the Regional Advisory Committee of all the superintendents in the region, and that's an opportunity for us to learn straight from the agency some of the things that are coming down the pike with all the new legislation, as well as have some time to interact with our fellow superintendents, especially building some strong relationships with the superintendents here in the 35 corridor area. Also, Lisa and I attend the Finance Academy. That's a 10-part series. This last Finance Academy had a PEIMS focus, and we went over all of the child nutrition PEIMS codes to make sure that we're doing the very best job we can of PEIMS. We know that we've got some work to do to clean up our reporting, and that will result in additional revenue, actually, because we were underreporting quite a bit. So we've already got some plans and some corrections underway to make sure that we get all of that. Moat Casey is our partner with strategic planning, and they came out last week and did the board superintendent team of 8 training. I thought it was an excellent training. All of us were able to be there and to build a stronger relationship as a team of 8 moving forward to lead our district to achieving our goals. We also, with Moat Casey, did a SWOT activity. We had already done one with the community, and this last month we did one with our senior leadership, which was our campus principals and our district level leadership. And they also did that with the board as a part of our team of 8, identifying strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to the district as information towards our goals and building our balanced scorecard. We also, that balanced leadership scorecard is what we're working on to determine what will our goals be across areas of student achievement, being an employer, what is that going to look like for our employees? Also, what will it look like for our students in our community? What the goals that we're setting and the metrics that we'll be using for that. When it comes to campus teaching and learning, we have had all of our public hearings, meetings for school improvement at the 4 campuses. And we had, some folks show up with some great questions at the high school this week. We are continuing to focus on reading and math pre-K all the way through Algebra 1, and reading, the main focus is at Ted Flores Elementary and at the intermediate school, really working on our early learners with reading. The PLCs, which is the professional learning community, that's where the teachers work on their craft, and the data digs, looking at the assessment data that we have for the students currently and how that informs teaching. On the facilities and operations side, as the community knows, we had 2 water main breaks within 2 weeks that impacted Ted Flores Elementary and required us to send folks home early because we had no water. And no water means no restrooms, no drinking water. So the community was really, really very wonderful to help us get the kids home with a minimal amount of disruption. We hope that is behind us now. We did have the power go out this morning for a little over an hour, Ms. Baker? About an hour this morning at the intermediate school, and that was it was a fuse that was blown up up on a line thanks to a little squirrel. So, you know, we were yes, yes, yes. Rest in peace, little squirrel. But we are thankful that the guys were able to get out there, and it was a very quick fix. But kudos to Ms. Baker, her team, Ms. Martinez, and the team, because that was right when the ladies were working on lunch, and so we had the plan: go to the junior high, prepare the lunch, get the kids into the classrooms on the side of the building where we had windows. They didn't miss a beat. So, and they still had 96% attendance today. So thank you to both of those campuses for dealing with things out of their control, right? Out of their control. We also have had our orientation for BusRight, the software that the board approved the purchase of earlier this fall. And we are getting ready to receive the hardware in the next, week? We got it today? Woohoo, we got the hardware today. So now that will be installed on the buses. It will be the pad that the drivers will be able to use for navigation. And then the next thing we're going to be doing is training the drivers, training the folks on using the routing software. And we are going to look to get some efficiencies with our routing. We know that we can apply for the hazardous route reimbursement to get kids within the 2-mile radius. And we're going to look at some within that 2-mile radius also, is there an opportunity for us to do, for example, a collected stop with even within 1 mile? If the bus is going to pass, why not at that corner let the kids gather there? We'll pick them up and bring them. Especially when the weather gets inclement, kids don't want to walk. It's less than a mile, but you know what? A bus is passing me. Stop the bus, get them on, let's get them in. So this software will allow us to pinpoint where every child is and be able to say which bus is going to go by a particular corner where we can have them go. So we really think we'll be able to provide bus service for more students, and hopefully that will allow more kids to come to school on a regular basis. We are also working on the track repairs. Our engineers, MTR Engineering, met with Coach De Leon, Ms. Bass. We had technology was there, Ms. Fernandez, and we looked at when we can begin the track repair and started going backwards. So we will start coming to the board probably in January with requests for proposals for folks to come out and bid on that project. The goal being we would start that the minute we are done with track, the end of March looks like. First part of April, when we're done with track, we'll start that, and they will only be working on that end of the track, and then we will be done in time for Coach to have that field back for athletics for the fall, well before we start school. And so graduation will take place with some repairs going, but it will just be in that very far corner. Should not impact us, just maybe where we place the stage. But we're excited to get that underway. And the other piece is we're bringing to you tonight a request for the purchase order for new computers for our teachers. That was budgeted, and so now that we've rolled the budget over and we've got all of the paperwork, we're ready to get some of those new computers in the hands of the teachers. Our enrollment continues to be pretty steady at 1914, and our attendance is holding at about 93.9, which is really great. I'll continue to keep the numbers up here from last year's first day for everybody, just kind of for reference, and then where we started on August 5th, our first day, and then October 14th, the day that I pulled for this, and then the last day of school last year. So just kind of to get an idea of, especially for TFE, you can see usually, traditionally from the first day of school to the last day of school, they grow. Everybody else holds steady or grows a little bit, but they tend to grow the most. Just happens to be the age of the children who show up to school at that time. And then you can see the overall attendance for the first 6 weeks, and you can see the junior high with a 95.08, and everybody else was doing much better than last year. So we're really proud of the efforts that the campus has to identify root causes for attendance, and then let's try to mitigate those. So we're hoping, again, that transportation will help with that as well. But thank you to the high school for also being really creative. That's one of the harder ones to do, because it's, especially as the kids are on their own to get to school, a lot of them, and have the means and ways to get there. We've created really great, engaging campuses for the kids where they want to come to school. So we appreciate their efforts on that. And then just a few highlights of some of the things we did. So the Dogies took the win and they got a taco party. We took tacos up to the staff that morning. And as they were coming in, getting ready for the day, they got to grab a taco and go. Then you can see some pictures from the classrooms all over the district and some of the fun that we've had at pep rallies, the adults getting into it and some of the great stuff. Again, our band advances. We're very proud of them. We had a couple of track kids advance. We'll be recognizing those guys all next month at our recognitions, as well as some of the junior high athletics who've finished their season as well. You can see there's a shot from the public hearing that we had at TFE. Again, all 4 campuses have had theirs. And then when we played Lytle, our football game against Lytle High School, their bus took a nail that just totally destroyed one of their tires, and they could not get out of our stadium. And so we said, you know what, let's just give you a bus. And Freddie Esquivel, our director of transportation, said, no problem, miss, I'll go drive them. So Freddie brought a bus. We loaded up some Lytle kids, and he drove them to Lytle and then drove right back that night. And so that Monday, there you see the Lytle superintendent and 2 of their central office folks came by and they gave us what they call the Lytle Love Award. It's a little pin and it, you know, with a little certificate saying thank you for Pearsall for modeling what it means to be a great community member and a friend and what it's all about, right? Taking care of each other. So we accepted that on behalf of all of our district, and just wanted to say we're really proud. It was a fun thing to see them, you know, shouting us out, and we shout them out too. That's the way we want to be in our community, right? Taking care of each other. So thanks to Lytle for that. So that is what I have for you this evening. Any questions for me?
No questions.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you. Good report. Now we'll move on to item 7, the consent agenda.
We bring you a consent agenda that just has traditional things that require much discussion. It is, again, a Smart Buy membership. It is another buy board that we pay into, which also allows us to get some of the best deals on some of the items that we would like to purchase. And we also have the minutes from the September board meeting for your approval.
Awesome. Does anyone have any questions on the consent agenda? All right. No one has any questions. Can I get a motion on this item?
Make a motion to approve consent items A and B.
I have a motion made by Marco Reyes. Do I have a second? Have a second by Dora Mata Rodriguez. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to action items. Item 8A, consider approval of intermediate school turnaround plan presented by Adam Martinez and principals.
So, Board President, members of the board, in accordance with Texas Education Code 39A.055 and 19 Texas Administrative Code 97.1061, campuses identified as requiring targeted or turnaround interventions must develop and present a targeted and or improvement along the effective schools framework. Adoption of the plans ensure might mention are in various stages of school improvement, so this will apply to all 4, and then we'll mention the specific campus for.
Good evening once again, Mr. Board President, members of the board, and community members here. Again, it's my pleasure to be with you here this evening as the district coordinator for school improvement to be able to talk to you about the turnaround plans and targeted improvement plans our campuses are having to engage in. So with the first one being the turnaround plan. So Pearsall Intermediate School is required to develop the turnaround plan in accordance with Texas Education Code. And it is because they have received an unacceptable performance rating for more than 2 consecutive years. Because of that, Ted Flores Elementary is also required to develop a turnaround plan, and it is based again on the performance of Pearsall Intermediate School, so they are tied together. The targeted improvement plan, we have both our junior high and high school that are required to develop the TIP plan, and it is due to not meeting one or more state performance indicators, and both campuses have received unacceptable performance ratings for multiple years. Therefore, they are required to engage in what is called a TIP plan or a targeted improvement plan. When it comes down to these plans, the district has made the decision that we want to have a unified plan that is going to be able to serve all 4 of the campuses in conjunction and have that vision and that direction where we're all going and working and flowing in one forward motion going forward. So we have partnered with Education Service Region 20, and we have also selected the school improvement strategy through the Texas Instructional Leadership Program. And now that is going to be something that we are going to be able to address the academic performances by supporting those that are directly working with our students, which is our teachers, and our administrators are supporting our teachers. So the Texas Instructional Leadership Program is designed in order to address academic performance through those 2 stakeholders. So the campuses, we will primarily focus on teachers that are in their first 2 years of teaching and also teachers that are working towards obtaining certification. So those are the primary focus points that we're going to have on all 4 campuses. Well, what is the plan? What does it actually entail? So the plan that we have developed requires each campus to conduct a minimum, now they can go over that, but a minimum of 5 full observation and feedback cycles. Now, these cycles are going to be completed by the campus principal, the assistant principal, and the instructional coaches. So within that team, a minimum of at least 5 full feedback and observation cycles. Now, each of the cycle consists of a classroom observation. Now, it isn't like our Texas Evaluation Support System, or T-test. It's not a full-blown 45-minute observation. It's about 10 to 15 minutes. So that's how it differs from T-test. So the classroom observation, they also are going to be able to identify an area of needed support. The administrator or the instructional coach is going to be able to plan for the feedback session that is going to include a plan to implement, and then a follow-up for the administrator or the instructional coach to be able to witness what was discussed in that feedback session and to be able to continue support to the teacher. So prior to submitting the plan here for board approval, as Dr. Spoor mentioned, all 4 campuses did engage in the required stakeholder feedback sessions with school and community personnel. We hope to continue to be able to build partnerships with our school community. We would like to see our numbers, the numbers of the attendance go up, but we also recognize that that is going to be another focus point for us to be able to continue to be able to develop that good, strong partnership and trust with our community for them to be able to come out and engage with us in these areas that we're needing to. That is the plan that we've come up with. If you guys have any questions for me, I would love to be able to answer any questions that you may have in regards to the turnaround plan or the targeted improvement plan.
Observations are done, are they gonna, I guess the principals will have meetings with each individual teacher, or how's that gonna work?
Yes, sir. So the way it works is that they will go in and do a short observation. They will script, take notes, be able to capture some things that they were able to witness in the actual classroom. They're going to find an area to be able to identify where a teacher would need support. With that, they would come back to a feedback session where they're going to be able to share that. It even goes as far as they're going to be able to have a resource for the teacher to be able to watch, to be able to see what an exemplar of whatever particular area they would need help and support in. And there is actually a part where they're actually practicing with the actual teacher in the session to be able to make sure that the teacher is grasping and understanding what it is that the administrator is wanting them to be able to work on and address. So it is very, very new for some of our teachers. We are actually already engaging in this. We've already had our first round. And as a part of that, the continuous improvement cycle, a little bit of uncomfortableness, and I'll just go ahead and say that from our administrators, teachers, everybody, because they are actually having to submit a video for them to be able to get feedback. I will be able to provide our principals feedback. I am also getting coached, and I am also getting feedback from Region 20, our TIL partner, that I have to record my session, because when the principals have their session with the teachers, I actually have a session with the principals giving them feedback on how they're giving feedback to the teachers. And the Region 20 person is also getting coached, so she's getting feedback on how she's giving me feedback. So it's the whole cycle of, we're all going to be able to grow and learn and develop. So the level of comfort, we're going to get better with it. We're going to get better as we get more comfortable and engage in it more often. Right now, we're learning, we're growing, we're developing. So there's always that, it's new, it's different, that time period, but we're going to be able to grow together. And that's the big part that we're trying to make sure people understand. We're not leaving anybody to figure things out on their own. It is going to be a part of being united, being a team, and to be able to help support each other throughout the whole process.
Good, thank you.
Yes, sir.
You answered a question I was going to ask about. We're not bombarding our principals, or we just want to make sure everything is.
And every step of the way, we're going to be able to be doing this together. And so one of the things that I believe that we've already firmly established is there's no such thing as a dumb question. Just ask, so that way we can all learn together, because even if we're in a group setting and someone has a question, somebody else might be maybe afraid to ask it. So we're really trying to build that comfort and being able to really just, help support each other and grow together.
Thank you.
So I don't have a question, but I just have a comment on, so I think overall it sounds like, it's definitely an effort to assure that we have effective instruction. Our teachers have that support for that, and that our student engagement and, readiness is definitely being supported.
Absolutely. Thank you for that feedback.
So I think that's what I envision. Good to hear the plan.
Have to choose a plan out of a menu of things to choose. So we currently have a lot going on instructionally with the materials, the training going on. This is particularly aimed, again, for those first year, brand new teachers are uncertified. And principals, correct me if I'm wrong, high school, y'all are at what, 17 or 19% of these teachers? 18%. Junior high, 28. Intermediate, 39. TFE, 33%. Our two youngest campuses of youngest learners have over a third of the teachers are either working on their certification, our DOI, or brand new first year teachers. So this support is going straight to them. This is not going to the teachers who are already successful veteran teachers. This is not an appraisal. This is going in and looking at their teaching and helping them become better teachers in the classroom. And so that's why we chose this one to focus strictly on those teachers, because we want to really build their capacity quickly and help them to make a positive impact on those kids. And it was because of the number of teachers that we had with that category that we felt this was the best plan. And by having all the principals doing this together, it creates that community of learners for all of us, so that we are getting better at supporting that particular group of teachers as well.
And this is in addition to the mentoring or whatever
Yes,
they're doing
ma'am.
as well.
We
Okay.
have, for those teachers who are working on certification, we have the mentor program. We have the online tutorials where they can go in and get content help as well. The 240 program. So we have quite a bit of support for those
Good.
folks going in.
Good. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So can I ask a question on, so obviously the numbers are there, a bit concerning, but is it fair to say that these teachers obviously did not go through, like this is their plan B, this is a different, like they had a degree in another area and now we're moving to education?
Yeah,
So it wasn't really a traditional route.
they didn't go through traditional educator preparation programs. And so they have either been able to obtain their bachelor's degree, and they're going and entering into an ACP, which is an alternative certification program, and they are learning how to be teachers. Now, one of the big things is that there's going to be some, it just comes very natural to. and others that we have to work and support and develop. But one of the things that I've already identified by working with our folks and just observing, we have a lot of great people with a lot of great attitudes. And that's half of it. Because if they have that willingness, that want to be able to learn and grow together, we can teach you how to be a teacher. We can help support you how to get it. And that's the thing. It's going to take a little time. So full transparency, it's not going to happen overnight. But it is going to be a very, very strong, concerted, dedicated plan where we have the script and we're going to stick to it and we're going to see it out.
Good questions. Anyone else have any?
Yeah, I just appreciate the effort for helping these DOIs and non-certified teachers. I really do. Because we all know that there won't be a renewal. Right?
Well, and to
Emphasizing.
that end, one of the other things that I commend our campus administrators for being on is we're having those conversations, Ms. Ramirez, very early on in regards to we're going to do all we can to help and support you. We're going to do all we can to be able to help grow you. But we do need to have these educators obtain their certification. And we're going to give them every opportunity to do so. We're going to support them every step of the way. But one thing that we cannot do for them is we can't go sit and take a test.
And do that. They have to have their effort.
It's very much transparent. We're going to help them every step we can, but that's the only thing we can't do.
Yeah.
And they need to be able to get that last step. It's like we're going to help them go through the race. We just can't go through the finish line for them.
Thank
So,
you.
but
There's
it's
just
very
many,
encouraging so far.
many great teachers out there that just need to get that certification. Thank you.
And as you mentioned, they are under timeline. The state has said we will no longer allow this to happen. And so Ms. De Leon and the mentors that we have set up a Google Drive, and principals are able to check on the teacher's progress towards their certification, and that just helps keep it front and center. So everybody knows we're checking, and sometimes they need that little nudge. Don't procrastinate. Get your module's done. We're here to support you, and we won't let them put it off because they will not be able to stay with us if they don't get that certification.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. If there's no further questions, can I get a motion for this item?
I move that the board approve the turnaround plan and targeted improvement plans as presented.
I have a motion made by Dora Mata Rodriguez. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second made by Adrian Ramirez. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to item 8B, consider approval of goals of district improvement plan and campus improvement plan. Sorry.
Mr. President, the presentation of our district improvement plan and campus improvement plan goals to the Board of Trustees is an essential component of the continuous improvement and accountability process required by the Texas Education Code under TEC 11.251 and 11.252. Each district and campus must develop and revise improvement plans annually to ensure that student performance is continually enhanced for all student populations. Plans are aligned with state and federal accountability systems and are developed through a collaborative process that includes administrators, teachers, parents, and community representatives. Tonight we have Martinez presenting the overview of the goals of our district improvement plan, and each of the principals their campus improvement plan goals as well.
Good evening once again, Mr. Board President, members of the board. I feel like I've said that a couple of times here tonight. And community members. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the district improvement plan, as Dr. Spohr has mentioned, and then our esteemed campus principals are going to be able to share with you in regards to their campus improvement plan. So we'll go ahead and get started. For the district improvement plan, we have developed a plan for 4 goals here throughout the district. And the first goal being to accelerate student learning, to dramatically increase the number of students who perform on or above grade level. So within that goal, we're going to be able to engage in what are called performance objectives, is what you see here. And each one of those is going to be able to help contribute to that overarching goal that I just mentioned. So we do address here the academic success of our students for the STAR and EOC exams. We do also address the kindergarten ready for our students at TFE. We also are going to be able to address the literacy at the early grade levels at the kindergarten, first and second grade. We are also addressing the numeracy at the kindergarten, first and second grade at the TFE campus. And then we are also looking at academic growth for the STAR and EOC exams. And then we are also addressing the performance of subpopulation students in special programs on the STAR performance and EOC exams. Our second goal is to be able to prepare students in the college, career, and military ready aspect, CCMR, which is at the high school level. So we do have the performance objective to be able to graduate students meeting CCMR. We have a measure established for that. We are also having the focus of students obtaining an industry-based certification or an IBC. And we have a goal established for that. We are also wanting to increase the number of students for dual credit courses taken. And so we have a measure of that as well. And then we also are going to be focusing on students earning an associate's degree. So we do also have that as a measure included. Our third goal covers promoting the community and school involvement that engages all stakeholders. As we mentioned earlier, we do want to increase that across the whole district at each and every campus. So we have a measure to be able to also target daily attendance, which again, we're already, as we were able to recognize here tonight, we're establishing things and we're trying to think of things outside of the box in order to be able to develop that willingness and that yearning to want to be able to be a part of the school community and attend school regularly. So we do also have for a measure to target parents and guardians attending at least one event after school throughout the year. So we want to get them up to the school as much as possible. And then we also do want to continue to be able to be good partners with our businesses here and community members in the district. So we do also have a measure to be able to engage with them as a part of our committees that we have for throughout the district. Fourth goal is going to be to provide a positive and safe learning environment for all of our stakeholders. And again, as long as we're able to provide a safe and supportive learning environment, our students have the best opportunity to be able to thrive academically. So we have measures that are going to be, again, holding us accountable for 100% of our required safety audits and also our safety measures, which again, we are off to a fantastic start already. We have had the state already come out to our campuses, and we have done very well so far this year. We are also, again, going to be looking at our employee satisfaction rates and our climate surveys, and we want to make sure that we're offering the best work environment for our employees. We want to make sure that our employees have been treated with great customer service and making sure that this is a place that they're valued and they're a member of a winning team to be able to have where we're going to be able to move in the positive direction and the better academic performance that we also desperately want. So those are the goals for the district plan. I am going to turn it over to our esteemed campus administrators to be able to cover their own individual campus plans at this time. So I'm going to start with the high school and Principal Melissa Bass.
Please bear with me, guys. So sorry. So we have 4 goals at the high school. They're the same 4 goals that we are aligned with the district improvement plan with. Our first goal is to improve student learning, accelerate student learning, to increase the number of students. Our 3 performance objectives. Performance objective 1 focuses on domain 1. Our objective 2 focuses on growth with domain 2, which is going to be that student growth and the relative performance. And then objective 3 is going to be increasing domain 3, the closing the gaps. Our overall performance for objective 1, we're looking to increase from 70% to 85%. And in domain 2, to go from 63 to 90%. When we're looking at goal 2, we also have 4 performance objectives listed. This is focused around CCMR, college, career, military readiness. We're going to increase the number of students who have our CCMR points. We receive a CCMR point 4. And our goal is to increase from 53% to 90% by 2029. I'm happy to report right now that our graduates last year were at 75%. So that's why our goal is to hit that 90. Performance objective 2 is that IBC. So this is aligned with the district improvement plan and those goals, since it's directly tied to high school data, increasing the number of students earning dual credit from 41% to 50% for performance objective 3. And then the last performance objective is increasing that associate's degree. Y'all were at graduation last year. We have a lot of students that graduate with a lot of college hours. They do not go out for the associate's degree, and so we're going to encourage them to attain those associate's degree. Goal 3 is to promote the community and school involvement that engages all stakeholders. So increasing our attendance. Last year, high school was at 88.6. Our goal is 95. You saw in the data reported, we're about 93%, 92.5. So that's a big increase for a high school. Last year, it was rare that we would hit 90. So we have all our engines running and everybody working on that. To have increase our percentage of parents and guardians that attend our events, and also to engage business partners. That's something that we've lacked at the high school. And the last one is goal 4, that's safe learning environment. And this is also aligned with the district improvement plan, making sure our staff, our stakeholders are happy, and also to make sure that 100% of all safety guidelines and assurances, that we assure that everything is implemented at 100%. I apologize.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For Pearsall Junior High, our goals also match the district. However, I will be reading our targeted objectives for our campus. On goal number 1, our first performance objective is by the end of this school year, our students' performance rate will increase for all of our students by increasing the approaches, meets, and masters rating at least by 20% or higher. Our objective 2 for goal 1, student achievement, we will improve STAR Domain 3, closing the gaps of subgroups by 20% by the end of this school year. Goal 2, student success, preparing them to be college, career, military ready. Our objective 1 is by the end of the school year, PJH will educate 100% of our students on college and career readiness through gold classes and by hosting college and career fairs. I know last year we had one, Ms. Ramirez did attend that with SW Junior College, and we want to raise it to 2 this school year, so we're aiming for that. Our performance objective 2 is to educate students on college career options and resources by endorsing a College of the Week through daily morning announcements, and we have begun that. On goal 3, promoting community and school involvement, our objective 1 is that PGH will increase family community engagement by 30% through implementation of at least 4 inclusive events, 2 per semester, and consistent monthly communication. Our objective 2 is to build a strong relationship with students, families, and community partners that foster a positive school culture, shared responsibility for student success, and increase stakeholder engagement through sign and log, stakeholder feedback as well. So I know we've started that with our report card nights. We had cheer and dance performances that did increase. We are having a reading and social studies night coming up, so just promoting our campus and really getting parents to buy in and meet us halfway with their educational performances. On goal 4, provide a positive and safe learning environment. Our objective is by the end of the school year, PJH will create and support a safe and positive school culture by decreasing discipline referrals by 10%, improving student and staff feedback on climate surveys by 15%, and increasing family participation in school events at least by 80%. I know Mr. Martinez mentioned safety. I will say TEA has already come to do their audit with PJH, and we had no findings. So we're done for this school year. So that was awesome. Man, rang the doorbell. We were all ready to go. So it was very good conversations with him. So we did pass that audit this year.
Good.
For accelerate student learning. And our objective is to increase student growth 85%, particularly in 4th and 5th grade reading and math. That's where we'll get the most of where we'll be measured on growth. And for our objective 2, which hits domain 3, closing the gaps, we'd like to increase our student subpops by 15% by the end of the school year. Goal 2, student success, preparing students for college and career and military readiness. At the intermediate level, it's basically on the curriculum itself, and we want to implement the curriculum with fidelity at least 90% of the time, and build a college-going culture by posting information about colleges, having career fairs, short days, and a lot of that happens through our guidance lessons. For goal 3 is to promote community and school involvement that engages all stakeholders. We usually don't have a problem getting our families in when it has to do with student work. So anytime we have an event that the students get to participate in, the parents come in, we would like to improve them actually being engaged with the academic pieces itself. But we'll have a minimum of 12 events for the school year. And then also engaging our businesses and community members. So anytime we have an event, we like to invite community members. And goal 4 is, again, provide the positive and safe learning environment for all stakeholders. And the objectives are, by the end of the school year, to have 95% of staff and students feel safe and supported. All right, so ours isn't that different from intermediate. Obviously, when we want our students to grow and learn and leave us as readers ready to learn. So for our first goal, our goal 1, student achievement, accelerate student learning to dramatically increase the number of students who perform on or above grade level. So we have 3 performance objectives for this, particularly one in particular concentrating on pre-K and kindergarten. We want to get them ready from our current 53.5% to 90% by 2029. And objective 2, we want to increase that number of students in kinder, first, and second, and make sure that they show more than a year's growth in literacy by 90% by 2029. Performance objective 3, we want to increase the number of students in kinder, first, and second grade who show a year or more growth in numeracy, so we are focusing on the math as well. And we have great curriculum this year that supports that. Goal 2, student success, prepare students to be college, career, military ready, not that different from intermediate as well. In objective 1, by the end of the 25-26 school year, TFE is looking to implement new curriculum programs with fidelity 90% of the time. Through those coaching cycles, we have been able to really see the fidelity shine through this year. Performance objective 2, build college-going culture by posting information about colleges and careers and having college shirt days. So we are going to start implementing that, as well as having college career fairs for our students and having STEM night so that they know that there's different kinds of careers and that they don't all require college education, but they might require a vocation, and just opening their eyes to the different things that they can do. For goal 3, promote community and school involvement that engages all stakeholders. If you were at our Donuts with Dads, that was impressive. We've had a few events already. So for objective 1, increase student daily attendance from 90% to 96%. As you guys saw for the first 6 weeks, we've been pretty successful with that. Today was great that we hit 96%. That's twice already. And for our little ones, that's a big deal. Kindergarten recently hit 98%. We're missing 1 student. Yeah. Objective 2, a minimum, yeah. Yes, go. Where is that kid? Very, very sick, so it's okay. A minimum of 70% of parents, guardians who will attend at least 1 after-school activity during the school year. We are having a math night that's coming up, and we are trying to continue with events like this. Performance objective 3, engagement of business partners and community members will increase with at least 70% active participation in district and campus committee meetings. That is something that we are striving to do. We want to open up our campuses, obviously, for the community to know that what we're doing. And it's positive. What we're doing is positive. We want to share that. Goal 4, provide a positive and safe learning environment for all stakeholders. For performance objective 1, by the end of 25-26 school year, 95% of campus staff will feel respected and supported. And of course, for objective 2, for 95% of our students to feel safe and supported, this year we are implementing a counselor's newsletter that goes out to parents to address certain issues such as social emotional learning. And then our next one is going to be about bullying. So definitely want to empower our parents and our community on what that looks like and what we're doing to minimize that or the perception of that.
Our district doing strategies that will be tied to those.
Awesome. Does anyone have any questions?
I do have a question. So, I really like plans are very, again, unified. They're very coherent, very aligned, if you will. And so it's really nice to see that. And I'm hearing to say that the attendance, has also increased because it's a 5-day week now. So everything's back to kind of traditional, mom and dad work Monday through Friday, our kids go to school Monday through Friday. So with that attendance constantly increasing and just being such an asset, I think that in itself will definitely help improve the learning. So one thing that you all mentioned was definitely improve with the parent involvement. So when y'all do sit down and think about like your tutorial schedule, is that something that y'all would consider sharing with the parents and have a meeting and say, this is our plan. This is how we're going to tutor. This is how athletics is going to support, our athletes to come in to get that extra support that they need for instructional purposes. So, I mean, it's just a thought that was, crossing my mind. Just all of you emphasize having that parental involvement. That is a great time to get the parents involved in your, tutorial strategic planning.
So the first step, notify parents of our tutoring days. So that went out on social media 2 weeks ago. And so that was our first step to open up that communication. We also shared email addresses of all of our core content teachers via social media so that if they had any questions or concerns, they could reach out. That was our first step. And in our next, second, and third steps are aligned to what you're speaking about. We actually have them coming up. We block off a whole half day for each grade level. They all have department, not department, That's helpful because now we feel like and it's important not only attendance, but start that and making sure when they get to high school, things are safe for graduation. So I know I get feedback from my teachers asking me to continue with these, and all of them. So we have good, attendance as far as parents having the support there. Now we could get as many games we do during football and volleyball games, that'd be great. But I think eventually our teachers have to say, hey, football games next week, let's have a trunk or treat, we're passing out this race strategy, smash strategy, like to do it. So just setting them up and you can do for I will say that's something we started is to get the parents we're trying to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
At intermediate, we are currently also having those parents.
big, big improvement in 6 months. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what, what things are gonna look like by May. So great job. And their passing, their grades, there's more A and B honor rolls. It's good.
Yeah, good questions.
Thank y'all.
So just so you know, we will be bringing you progress reports on these goal measures. One of our first goal measure progress reports will be next month. Ms. Gonzalez is going to bring you a report on PKK 1-2 readiness. Those are House Bill 3 goals that the board has to adopt on early numeracy and early literacy. Since they are not STAR tested, they're not put out the same way as the STAR tests are. So we'll have some longitudinal data the last few years, how our students are doing, and be able to share with you their beginning of year scores. And then come January, we'll share with you how we're doing middle of year. So again, our goal this year is growth. And so you heard all of them talk about growth and the kids tracking their own growth, everybody knowing last year +1, just last year +1. One foot in front of the other, we'll hit our performance goals, but right now it's growth because everybody can grow. And so we're growing as adults, we're growing as instructional leaders. Adam is, I am, the principals are, the teachers are, we're all growing. And that growth mindset, I think, is really carrying over when you go into the classrooms. We're seeing that taking place when we've had our data meetings with the principals. Seeing that, it's been really very rewarding to see. We know sometimes this takes time, but again, our goal was to rapidly accelerate. So we are really trying to really put all of our efforts into that growth and that accelerated growth.
Awesome. That was gonna be one of my questions. Like, I know we get reports on these, so how will we get one next month, and then the rest, when did those happen?
You'll get a report on early childhood next month. So you got your report on Help Us today. We've had our report on how SPED is doing, and again next month, November, we do early childhood, and then in January is when we're going to give you VI.A out every campus, talking about all of the STAR scores. So you'll have had your early and then all the way through STAR, and we'll also possibly in December let Ms. Bass give us an update on CCMR, because that is what we call lag. Mm-hmm. So the three, and I'm tying TFB to intermediate because they're links. If you don't have an accountability grade level, you get linked to somebody who does. So those two campuses get the same. So those three campuses, it's STAR only. That's it. But for the high school, STAR and for college military readiness are weighted exactly the same, plus we throw in graduation points in there. So for them, we already know what our CCMR is. So she'll be able to present all of that piece out now and how we've tracked it. And what can impact them for this year is that growth piece as well. So they have an opportunity to improve based upon that. But we already know where our high school baseline is going to be, which is something that's very unique just to high schools. And the way the district accountability is, it's percentage of students. So they don't get weighted the same when it comes to the district rating. So district rating of a D is based mostly on the high school because that's where most of the students are. So we'll be able to bring that to you guys in December and let you know how they're doing. And then in January, you'll get your mid-year review of how we're doing. And then we'll be able to give you, January get some, February get a little bit. And then in March, we'll be doing our, that'll be a release test for them. And so in March, that's when we get a release test and we'll say, okay, now we get our, let's put our plan for the few weeks, the crunch to the test. And so we will have a little bit of a crunch time, but right now we're focusing on learning and doing little bite-sized assessments along the way that they've been going over. So again, you guys will get an update on that starting next month. Every month we'll have something on these goals, these academic goals will come to you in a formal presentation.
Awesome. Thank you. Anyone have any other questions? And if not, can I get a motion on the item?
I move that the board approve the goals of the district improvement plan and campus improvement plans as presented.
Have a motion made by Lionel Gondara. Do I have a second? Second by Diana Hughes. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to item 8C, consider approval of School Health Advisory Committee membership for 25-26 school year.
Mr. Board President, in accordance with the Texas Education Code 28.004, each school district must establish a School Health Advisory Council, or SHAC, to assist the district in ensuring that local community values are reflected in the district's health, education, instruction. The SHAC provides recommendations to the Board of Trustees regarding coordinated health programs, physical activity, nutrition, and health education. Through this collaborative effort, the district promotes the health and well-being of students, supports academic achievement, and encourages lifelong healthy behaviors. In the past, we were able to take a District of Innovation exemption and did not have a SHAC. New legislation has changed that, and we must have a SHAC, and the SHAC members must be approved by the school board. With this presentation, we have Mr. Adam Martinez.
Yes, good evening once again, Mr. President, members of the board and community. As Dr. Spohr mentioned, we are looking to revamp and reestablish our School Health Advisory Committee. So what you see here is a group of individuals that we did have input from at least one member of the school board and also from our campus administrators to develop the list that you have here. So we do have community members, healthcare professionals, parents. We do also have students, administrators, counselors, teachers, non-teaching staff here in the district. And that is the list, and it is quite a big list, but it is something that we also are having a requirement that the majority have to be parents and they have to be non-employee parents. So we do have the list here for your approval here this evening.
Awesome.
I will also mention that we do have as requirements, the School Health Advisory Committee does have to meet at least a minimum of 4 times throughout the year. Since we are taking this list for approval here this evening, our goal is to be able to meet at least once before the
Unanimously. Moving on to item 8D, consider approval of Senate Bill 12 resolution.
Mr. Board President, as part of our legislative package that came out of our last session, we have Senate Bill 12, and Senate Bill 12, one of the pieces of Senate Bill 12, you heard earlier this year about the requirements for parent notification, for nursing services, for health services, and for counseling services. This is a requirement that I certified that the board agrees that we are in compliance with sections 39.008, 11.005, and 28.002 of the Texas Education Code. These codes prohibit district personnel duties relating to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I do certify that we do not have any departments or divisions of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that is what this requires us to certify, and I send in to the education agency.
Anyone have any questions? If not, can I get a motion on this item? Have a motion made by Adrian Ramirez. Do I have a second? Have a second by Lionel Gondara. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to item 8E, consider the approval of purchase of teacher laptops.
Mr. Board President, we have 129 of our teacher laptops in VI.C were purchased in 2021. The common life cycle for a computer in a corporate or educational environment is about 3 to 5 years because we use them so much. And these existing laptops are now going into their 5th year, and they're showing signs of wear, and it is time to purchase some new ones. So with that, we have our Director of Technology, Mr. Daniel.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Spohr. Dr. Spohr kind of already covered it. Just our laptops are already showing age. Hinges are breaking this summer. when we last picked them up, it was time to start planning to get those replaced. So that's why we budgeted to get those teacher laptops replaced.
Is this for all teachers or just like a specific
Yes,
campuses?
all teachers.
Oh, awesome. And yeah, that's great. Do you know like the ETA when they would come in? Is it like a back ordered item or?
No, sir, not back order. Yeah, it's 3 to 4 weeks possible.
Perfect.
Is it touch?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, then yes, I approve.
And they got the nine. The teachers love the 9 key, Miss Doran. The teachers can relate. Y'all like the 9 key to intergrades. So I made sure it has the 9 key. It's a little bit bigger screen, so
Definitely expedited inputting grade.
it does.
Perfect. Anyone have any questions?
No, sir.
If none, can I get a motion?
I move that the board approve the laptop purchase as presented.
Have a motion made by Lionel Ganda. Do I have a second? Have a second by Dormata Rodriguez. All in favor? Marco? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item 8F, consider approval of purchase of Touchpoint Smart Clocks.
So this and second part to the first part, we had brought before and received approval to purchase the software that was to allow our systems to talk to each other and bring us a lot of efficiencies when it comes to employees and payroll. And now we're talking about the actual swiping device. And so with that, we have Ms. Danielle, HR Director, to present.
Good evening, board.
No.
The district is seeking approval to implement Touchpoint Smart Clocks at campuses and departments for employee time tracking. The purpose of the system is to streamline the process of clocking in and out while also improving accuracy in payroll and reporting and compliance. Oops. Where did it? Thank you. Who is Touchpoint? So Touchpoint is this device right here. It ensures the transformation to effortless and accurate time and payroll data. With this device, it is really simple for employees to clock in and out. Currently, what we have is a laptop for our hourly employees. They have to come in, clock in using a laptop. It takes a process, right? It takes time. So I know people don't really realize it because they do it every day, but I actually took the time to write every single step down so we can know how many steps does it actually take to clock in and out. So to clock in and out right now, to clock in, you have to first enter your employee number. Then it asks you, is this you? Then you have to say yes or no. And then it'll tell you, okay, your clock in is successful. And then you have to push okay. So essentially 4 steps for every person that comes to clock in. As a previous principal, I remember seeing my hourly employees come in, put all their stuff down because they knew it was going to take a while before they clocked in, then get all their stuff, have to move out of the way, then the next person comes. It takes a while for that process. To clock out is another process. That one actually takes 8 steps right now. They have to enter their employee number. Again, it's like confirmation, and then you have to push continue. Then it's going to ask you, did you verify your work hours? Then you have to select yes or no. Hopefully you pushed yes, right? And so once you push yes, and it says, okay, well, be sure to verify your hours. So even though you said yes, it's telling you again. So you have to push okay. Then it's going to tell you your clock out was successful, and then you have to push okay again, and now you're clocked out. So 8 steps, right? So please keep that in mind when looking at this. I just want y'all to know that. So currently, this is our diagnosis of Pearsall ISD. So it all starts with a time collection, right? So this essentially will make it easier for all employees, all the way up to our central office staff, with payroll especially, right? Because that's why everybody works, for the students and essentially their paycheck for their livelihood. And so right now, payroll spends days reconciling mistakes, chasing down supervisors, because, you know, sometimes people forget to clock in and out because, again, all those multiple steps. And so we have to, at the end of the week, be reaching out to those secretaries saying, hey, such and such didn't clock in, or hey, they're missing time. This program talks to Frontline, which is what you all approved, right? And so with Frontline, it also ties into the absence management portion. So once the employee puts in an absence for whatever day they put in, it automatically ties into that time clock. So if they didn't clock in for that day, no one has to go back and, oh my gosh, they forgot hours or they forgot to put in their time. It automatically communicates with that. Also, the reports, they're not reliable. Again, right now it's paper, right? They have to go step by step by step. We're moving away from that. And so some common risks with the Chromebooks, again, it takes longer. If the internet goes down, right, that's not fun either. And so there's a lack of accountability and uptime. There's a lot of headaches with payroll, especially when it gets closer. So this is essentially just a real quick video. It just showed you that's it. They already clocked in. Now they have multiple codes. They're just going to select, drop down. They'll select their code. Okay, successful. Next, they move on. And so that was it. That's how easy it is to clock in. They don't have to do 8 steps to clock in or 4 steps to clock in and 8 steps to clock out. The clock out process is exactly the same. And so they would just, again, swipe their badge and then they're done. So in speaking to these to the vendor, they have these devices in multiple locations throughout the United States. 75% of school employees do prefer the scanning. We've also talked about having these devices as soon as they walk into the door, right under the camera, to verify that they are clocking in with their badge, because they have to use their employee badge. It is part of our employee handbook that they have to be using their ID badge at all times. This would also eliminate people from clocking in their friends or in and out, right? And so, because in all honesty, I'm sure it happens. We might not catch them, but it happens. This is going to eliminate that because they have to use their ID badge in order to clock in and out. And so again, this is the device. It does have a 7 to 10-year lifespan. There's no exposed wires because it's hardwired. And so again, we would like to put them right under the front entrance for most campuses, right? And so the ones that are bigger campuses, like high school, for example, they would have multiple locations where we could put them. It's not just a one location kind of thing. All I have for you all, unless you all have any questions.
I have a question. So how do you handle like the bus drivers and the people that are getting on regular time versus driving time? How are they
Right,
gonna?
so as you saw in the video, they would just select.
So they would select it. Okay.
Yes.
Sort of figured. Very good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
These are badges, not biometric, right?
Yes. So they would just use our current badges. We wouldn't have to buy anything separate.
Excellent.
Now this is a one-time fee, right? Because of the devices, but to upkeep for years, it's only $250 per device, $250 per device. So essentially $4,000 a year to maintain them.
Awesome. Does anyone have any further questions?
So how many devices are we looking at?
15.
Right now, 16. We were thinking about like 4 for the high school. We were thinking about all the multiple locations. We were thinking about putting 1 for Bus Barn for sure. At least 2 here at Central Office. I believe we said 3 for junior high, 2 for intermediate. I believe 2 for TSD. Technology. I believe they would have to clock in over here, but they're already here already. Yeah.
16 or 15? Because I think the quote shows
So it's
15.
actually 15, but they're giving us a free device.
Okay,
so,
perfect.
So 15,
Okay.
we're getting charged for 15, but 16 we're gonna have.
Awesome. That's nice. Okay. If there's no further questions, can I get a motion on this item? Have a motion made by Marco Reyes. Do I have a second? Second by Adrian Ramirez. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you all.
Welcome. Let's see. What time is it? 6:08. Okay. Moving on to item 9, closed meeting. The board will adjourn into closed meeting in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.074 to consider the following: deliberations regarding matters related to employment, appointments, resignations, terminations, retirements, and reassignments. Superintendent evaluation report and human resource report. The time is now 8:21 p.m. and the board will go into closed session. routine personnel items. Can I get a motion on this item?
Move that we approve the human resources report as presented.
I have a motion made by Lionel Gonda. Do I have a second? Second by Dora Mata Rodriguez. All in favor? Approved unanimously. And since there's no further business, if no one else opposes, the time is now 9:58 p.m. and the board will adjourn.